It seems like every week there's news about some amazing new drug or treatment.
It really does.
Right. And today we're going to deep dive into all that,
Oh, cool.
taking a close look at what actually got approved in 2024
Okay.
and what all that means for you.
Awesome.
We've got three main sources for this deep dive.
Okay.
A list of new drug approvals in India to give us like that global perspective.
Right.
We've got data on U.S. drug applications.
Nice.
And then we've got this really interesting academic paper
Oh, cool.
that analyzes a lot of these drug trends from a
Okay.
molecular perspective.
Sounds good.
By the end of this deep dive,
Uh-huh.
you'll have a really clear picture
Okay.
of the most important approvals that came out this year.
Awesome.
Understand the approval process a little bit better,
Okay.
and maybe even glimpse where the entire pharmaceutical industry is headed.
Cool.
You ready for some surprising facts?
Absolutely.
I think we've got some in store.
It's easy to get caught up in the hype.
Yeah.
You know, when you see all this news about these drugs and new treatments,
Right.
but less is said about what concretely makes it through that approval process.
Totally.
So we aim to bridge that gap for you guys today.
I love that.
Yeah.
So let's jump right in.
Okay.
And to start,
Uh-huh.
let's start with the FDA.
Okay.
It was a huge year for them,
Yeah, a big one.
wasn't it?
Record-breaking, actually.
Really?
The FDA approved
Oh.
55 novel drugs
Wow.
in 2024.
That's amazing.
Second highest number ever,
That's incredible.
which is a big bounce back
Yeah.
from a dip they saw in 2022,
I was going to say.
likely due to the pandemic's effects on research and stuff.
I was going to say, I wonder if 2022 was a little bit of a down year because of all the COVID stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
No, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay, 55, that's a huge number.
It is.
But before we get lost in the numbers,
Yeah.
remind me what exactly makes a drug novel?
Yeah, great question.
Like, what is that definition?
So a novel drug
Okay.
means it's never been approved
Okay,
or marketed in the U.S. before.
got it.
So it's completely new,
Okay.
not just a tweak on something existing or a generic version.
Like a totally new thing.
Yeah, a brand new thing.
Brand new.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about like a wave of completely new treatments
Yes.
hitting the market.
Hitting the market.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
So out of these 55 novel drugs,
Okay.
what kind of drugs are they?
Yeah. So
Like, what's the breakdown?
the breakdown is really interesting.
Okay.
17 are biologics,
Okay.
which are complex therapies,
Got it.
often coming from living organisms.
Okay.
And another 9 are what we call tides,
Okay, tides. So what's that?
which are basically peptides and oligonucleotides.
Okay.
Think of those as
So those are like the synthesized
the
pieces of DNA or proteins.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Carry out very specific actions.
Biologics and tides dominating the approvals. Does that mean we're moving away from those?
Yeah, I think it suggests it.
Classic
Yeah.
small molecule drugs.
Classic small molecule drugs.
Like aspirin.
Yeah, like the aspirins and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it suggests a shift towards
Interesting.
more complex therapies
Okay.
that can really zero in on very particular mechanisms within the body.
So it's like more targeted?
Yes, much more
Like
targeted.
instead of like this broad.
It's broad brushstroke.
Yeah.
It's like a laser.
It's a laser.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very cutting edge stuff.
Yeah, it's like,
And we're seeing that reflected in these approvals.
it's getting more and more complex.
It is. Yeah,
Interesting.
definitely.
So it's not that those other small molecules are going away.
Right.
It's just they're being joined.
They're being joined
by
by
this new class of...
a whole new class
Yeah.
of treatments.
Okay, got it.
Expanding the
Oh,
toolbox.
I like that.
Yeah.
Expanding the toolbox.
Yeah, not replacing what we already have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Biologics and tides.
Yeah.
Leading the charge.
Leading the charge.
Let's dive into those a little bit.
Okay.
What really caught your eye in the data?
Okay.
What were some of the highlights?
Monoclonal antibodies,
Okay.
or MABs as they're called,
Okay.
had a phenomenal year.
Wow.
12 approvals,
12.
which is a record
Wow.
showing how important they're becoming
Okay.
in different areas of medicine.
For people who aren't super familiar with MABs,
Right.
what are they?
So they're basically,
What were they all about?
there are these proteins
Okay.
that can be engineered to target
Okay.
very specific things in the body.
Got it.
Like, you know,
So they're like
certain proteins or cells.
little soldiers?
Yeah, like little soldiers.
Sign in.
Yeah, they can either block
Oh,
or
yeah.
activate certain processes.
Wow.
So they're very versatile.
Okay. So 12 MABs this year.
12.
What are some of them being used for?
Okay, so one that's making a lot of noise is lecanemab,
Okay.
which goes by the brand name Leqembi. It's approved for Alzheimer's disease,
Wow.
and it's actually a follow-up
Okay.
to the controversial Aduhelm
Aduhelm.
we talked about last year.
Oh, Aduhelm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was so much debate about its effectiveness.
Yes.
Right.
A lot of back and forth.
Like, it got approved.
Yeah.
And then people were like,
And then there was controversy.
wait, is this really effective?
Yeah.
So is lecanemab expected to be?
Yeah. So it's early days,
Okay.
but it targets a different part of the disease process.
Okay.
This mAb is designed to clear out a protein called amyloid beta,
Oh, okay.
which is thought to play a key role in Alzheimer's development.
So it's a different angle of attack
Different angle.
on this really complex
Yes.
disease.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Any other notable mAbs from this year?
Yeah. Two others that are worth mentioning
Okay.
are glofitamab GXBM,
Oh, okay.
which is known as Columvi,
Columvi.
and then elranatamab,
Okay.
branded as Elrexfio.
All right.
These are interesting because they're bispecific antibodies.
A specific, yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
Okay, so think of it this way.
Okay.
A regular antibody
Uh.
acts like a guided missile
Okay.
targeting one specific enemy,
Got it.
but a bispecific antibody
Okay.
is like a double-headed arrow
Oh, wow.
targeting two different enemies at once.
Oh, that's pretty clever.
Yeah.
So it's like a two-pronged attack.
Two-pronged.
Yeah.
And this allows for more precise and powerful therapies,
Wow.
especially when you're fighting something like cancer.
Got it. So what exactly are these two bispecifics targeting?
Okay, so both glofitamab
Okay.
and elranatamab,
Uh-huh.
they go after proteins
Okay.
that are found on certain cancer cells.
Okay.
It's like putting a bullseye.
Oh, so it's like making those cancer cells
Yeah, on those cells.
more visible to
Wow.
the body's own immune
So
system.
the body's own immune system
Got it.
can find and destroy them more easily.
That's really clever.
Yeah.
Okay.
So very targeted.
mAbs are having a moment.
They are.
It sounds like.
Big moment.
Yeah.
Big year.
Okay, so we talked about mAbs,
Yep.
which are one of the tides.
One type of tide. Yeah.
What about those peptides?
Yeah.
Anything interesting happening over there?
Yeah, peptides.
Yeah.
They've had a bit of a reputation for being difficult to work with.
Really?
Yeah, they're seen as
Like, what's the issue with those?
unstable and tricky to deliver effectively.
Oh, okay.
But researchers have been coming up with some very ingenious designs.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's human ingenuity at its finest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what sort of peptides got approved then?
So one that demonstrates their potential
Okay.
is zilucoplan,
Okay.
which is marketed as Zilbrisk.
Zilbrick.
Got it. And this is for myasthenia gravis,
Okay.
which is a chronic condition that weakens muscles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So what's unique about this one is its structure.
Okay. Tell me about it.
I'm all about the details.
Yeah. I'm all about the details.
So it's what we call a cyclic peptide,
Okay.
meaning the chain of amino acids
Uh-huh.
forms a closed loop,
Okay.
which makes it more stable,
Okay.
and it has a peg chain attached.
Okay. Peg chain?
PEG standing for polyethylene glycol,
I was going to ask.
That's-
Polyethylene glycol.
which is, yeah, it's a common...
Peg chain? Is that like those long
Yeah.
wiggly things you see in those molecular diagrams?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's basically like
Okay.
a disguise for the drug.
Oh,
It helps the peptide last longer
interesting.
in the body
So
because it's less likely to be broken down quickly,
it's like giving it a protective shield.
like a protective shield.
It's camouflage.
Camouflage.
Interesting.
And to make it even more effective,
Oh,
they added a fatty acid
okay.
called palmitic acid,
Palmitic acid.
which helps it bind to its target more effectively.
Wow. So this is
So it really highlights how researchers are fine-tuning these peptides to make them potent and long-lasting treatments.
so it's like peptides. Small but mighty.
Small but mighty.
Especially with all these modifications.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered mAbs.
Ah.
We've covered peptides.
Mm-hmm.
What about the other half of the tides family?
Yeah.
The oligonucleotides.
Now we're getting into the cutting edge.
Okay.
Truly cutting edge.
I like it.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
So oligonucleotides are essentially short strands of DNA or RNA
Okay.
designed to interfere with specific genetic processes.
Wow.
Think of them as molecular snipers,
Molecular snipers.
Yep.
I love that.
targeting the very root of certain diseases.
Wow. So we're talking gene silencing here.
Exactly.
Like turning off.
Switching off those harmful genes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we're seeing a steady rise in oligonucleotide approvals.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Showing just how much this field is growing.
Okay. Do you have a specific example
Yeah.
of an oligonucleotide drug that got approved?
Yeah. A really notable one is nidosiren,
Okay.
which goes by the brand name Reflosa.
Reflosa. Okay.
And this was approved for a rare metabolic disorder
Okay.
called primary hyperoxaluria.
Wow. What's impressive about Nidosiren?
Yeah, what's impressive is it's a 58
50.
nucleotide serine A,
Wow, that's a long.
which is a small interfering RNA.
Wow, that's a long oligonucleotide.
It is, yeah.
It seems really hard to create.
Yeah, and it has some complex modifications
Okay.
to make sure it reaches its target and works properly.
Okay.
So it really speaks volumes about the advancement in chemical synthesis
Yeah,
and our growing understanding of how to manipulate these molecules.
that's incredible.
Yeah, so Nidosiren's a prime example
Wow.
of just how sophisticated these oligonucleotide therapies are becoming.
It's mind-blowing how
Yeah.
scientists can just manipulate DNA and RNA now to
It-
create these therapies.
Uh-huh. It's a new era of medicine for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It feels very sci-fi.
it does. It does.
But it's real.
It's
Okay, so let's take stock.
Okay.
We've got the surge in novel drug approvals,
Yes.
with biologics and tides leading the way.
Leading the charge.
We've got MABs having this big year,
Huge year.
peptides proving their worth
Proving himself.
with these clever designs,
Very clever.
and then oligonucleotides,
Yeah.
like really pushing the boundaries. It's a lot to absorb.
It is, but it just highlights
Yeah.
how dynamic the world of pharmaceuticals is.
Totally.
Yeah.
But we've only just scratched the surface here.
Stretch the surface.
Okay, I'm ready to go deeper.
Let's do it.
What else can we uncover in this world of new drug approvals?
Oh, so much more.
Let's do it.
Let's go. It's super exciting to see all this progress.
Yeah.
But it's not just about the science
Right.
and the molecules themselves.
Yeah.
There are some bigger questions we
Sure.
need to consider,
Yeah.
especially about
Yeah.
accessibility and affordability.
That's a really important point
It is,
because a groundbreaking new drug
right?
doesn't really do much good
Exactly.
if most people can't actually afford it.
Exactly.
Forget it.
Yeah, as these therapies become more intricate, more
Yeah.
specialized,
Mhm.
their cost tends to go up too.
Yeah.
So this presents a real challenge for healthcare systems,
Yeah.
policymakers,
Of course.
and patients.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's a tricky balancing act.
It is.
You know,
Yeah,
we want to encourage all this innovation,
right.
but we also need to make sure
Truly.
that these treatments are available
Absolutely.
to everyone who needs them.
Yeah,
It's a conversation
It
that we
is.
really need to be having as a society.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this isn't just a local issue.
Right.
Remember that academic paper we mentioned?
Uh-huh.
Well, it suggests
Yeah.
that there might be a global shift.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of shift are we talking about?
On the horizon. It indicates we may start seeing Chinese-developed drugs
Wow.
entering the U.S. market soon.
Wow.
This could be a game changer.
Yeah.
New players
Mm-hmm.
often mean changes
Right.
in drug pricing
Yeah.
and availability.
That makes a lot of sense. It adds like a whole other layer to the
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
Because it's not just
Yeah.
the science of the drug.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not just
And the approval process.
the approval,
Yeah.
but it's also who's making the drugs
Who's making
and
that?
what their motivations are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And where they're coming from.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
really drives home that point
Yeah,
that the pharmaceutical landscape is global.
totally.
You know, these approvals
Yeah.
have ripple effects
Right.
that extend way beyond the lab.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the kind of thinking.
That's what we're trying to do.
I like it.
Spark with this deep dive.
Yeah.
You know, understanding how science,
Right.
healthcare,
Yeah.
economics,
Totally.
even global politics
Yeah.
are all intertwined.
It's all connected.
It's all connected.
You've definitely given me a lot to think about.
Okay.
So where do we go from here?
Correct.
What's the key takeaway?
All right. So
Alice.
we've explored some big trends in drug approvals
Yeah.
for 2024,
Okay.
the rise of biologics and tides,
Mm-hmm.
the continued relevance of natural products,
Right.
even the unexpected role of fluorine
Yeah.
in drug design.
I love that.
And we've talked about those
Yeah.
complex issues
Mhm.
of access and affordability,
Right.
hinted at these potential shifts
Uh-huh.
in the global pharmaceutical landscape.
It's been a whirlwind tour
It has
of cutting-edge medicine.
cutting edge.
I'm so excited by all this innovation. But
Yeah.
I'll admit it's also a little overwhelming.
It can be,
Yeah.
for sure.
What stands out to you as like the most significant development in 2024?
So for me, it's the convergence of several trends
Okay.
happening all at once.
Got it.
So we're seeing this clear shift
Okay.
towards therapies
Okay.
that are more complex and targeted
Uh-huh.
with biologics and tides at the forefront.
Yeah.
But simultaneously,
Yeah.
our understanding of how to manipulate and fine-tune these molecules is growing
That's cool.
with tools like pegylation
Yeah.
and the strategic use of fluorine.
It's like science is becoming more precise,
More precise.
more elegant in
That's
its
all-
approach to medicine.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this precision
Yeah.
is what's driving these breakthroughs in treating diseases
Wow.
that were once considered incurable.
It's really an incredible time to be following all these developments.
It is.
But as amazing as all the science is,
Yes.
we can't lose sight of that human element.
Absolutely not.
Of it all.
Yeah. These advancements need to benefit everyone,
Yeah.
not just a select few.
Right.
And to achieve that, we need researchers, policymakers,
Yeah.
healthcare providers,
Totally. Everyone working together.
all working together.
Okay, I'm ready for the big finish.
All right, let's do it.
What's that final thought-provoking question
Okay.
want to leave our listener with?
All right.
Something to really make them ponder the future of medicine.
Okay, so given how rapidly things are changing,
Yeah.
it's almost impossible to predict
Right.
what the next 10 years will bring.
Right.
But the question we should all be asking ourselves is this:
Okay.
what will be the blockbuster drugs of the next decade?
Ooh.
And who will have access to them?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
It pushes us to think about not just
Right.
the scientific implications of all this progress, but also the societal ones.
The societal impact.
Yeah.
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 It's not just about the drugs themselves,
Right.
but how they'll shape healthcare
Exactly.
and, by extension, our lives.
Yeah. And it makes me think about like the conversation we were having earlier about how expensive these new drugs are.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
are we going to get to a point where only the super wealthy
Right.
can afford these amazing new treatments?
That's the question.
That's a really important question.
big question.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what makes this topic so
Yeah.
fascinating to explore.
Absolutely.
Speaking of exploring,
Yes.
we've been discussing this trend towards combination therapies
Right?
using multiple drugs
Yeah.
to combat a disease.
Right.
What's driving that trend?
Okay, so there are a couple of main reasons.
Okay.
We're seeing more combination therapies.
Got it.
Sometimes it's about
Yeah.
finding new ways to use older drugs,
Okay.
making them more effective by pairing them with something else.
Right.
Other times,
Yeah.
it's about hitting a disease from different angles
Okay.
simultaneously.
Got it.
Addressing
Yeah.
multiple aspects of the problem at once.
Yeah. So it's like assembling a team of specialists.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Each with their own specific role to play.
Like a multi-pronged attack.
I love that.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Do you have a good example of
Yeah.
a combination therapy?
One many people will recognize is Paxlovid.
Paxlovid.
The COVID-19 treatment,
Right.
it actually received emergency use authorization
Right.
early on.
Yeah.
But now it's officially FDA approved.
It's officially approved.
Officially approved drug.
Paxlovid kind of became a household name
It did.
during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Remind me how it works.
Yeah, so Paxlovid has two drugs in it,
Okay.
nirmatrelvir
Okay.
and ritonavir.
Ritonavir.
Nirmatrelvir is the main antiviral.
Okay.
It works by blocking a key enzyme.
Okay.
The virus needs to replicate.
So it directly stops the virus from multiplying.
Exactly.
Ritonavir.
Honavir,
Uh-huh.
which was actually developed as an HIV drug,
Oh, wow.
plays a supporting role. It inhibits an enzyme in our liver
Okay.
that would normally break down nirmatrelvir,
Okay.
essentially boosting its effectiveness
Oh,
and extending its lifespan
interesting.
in the body.
So it's like ritonavir is the teammate,
Exactly.
making sure that nirmatrelvir can stay in the game longer.
Yeah, keeping it in the game.
I love that.
Yeah.
These combination therapies are so strategically designed.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It really speaks to the ingenuity of pharmaceutical research.
Yeah.
Finding ways to use existing drugs
Mm-hmm.
in new and more powerful ways.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Combination therapies.
Champ.
Oh,
What else is on the horizon?
what else is there?
Well, let's not forget the enduring power of nature.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah.
Nature-inspired medicine.
Yes.
Always fascinates me.
10 of the drugs approved in 2024
Wow.
are rooted in natural products.
Okay.
It's a great reminder
Yeah.
that nature still holds valuable secrets
Yeah.
when it comes to new therapies.
It's like taking that traditional knowledge
Yes.
and giving it this
Yeah.
modern scientific upgrade.
Modern scientific
Yeah.
lens. Yeah.
What kind of natural products are we talking about here?
So we're seeing a variety of sources
Right.
from plants
Uh-huh.
to microorganisms.
Okay.
One example is birch triterpenes.
Birch triterpenes.
Which is the active ingredient in the Filsuvez gel.
Filsuvez gel, okay.
Which was approved for treating wounds associated with a rare skin condition called epidermolysis bullosa.
Epidermolysis bullosa.
Yeah.
I've never heard of birch triterpenes.
So they're compounds found in birch bark and have been used in traditional medicine for centuries.
So this is something.
Yeah, for their wound healing and anti-inflammatory properties.
Yeah, people have known about.
People have known about.
For a while.
For a long time.
But now we're just like...
And now modern science is confirming.
Putting the science behind it.
Their effectiveness.
Yeah.
And finding ways to refine their use for specific medical applications.
It's amazing to see those traditional remedies.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Get that scientific validation. Like, nature can be such a blueprint.
It can.
For these innovative therapists.
A great blueprint.
Yeah.
It highlights that while synthetic chemistry has come a long way, there's still so much we can learn from the natural world.
Nature's pharmacy is vast.
It is vast and full of secrets.
So we got combination therapies, nature-inspired medicines. Any other
interesting trends?
Interesting trends in these new drug approvals.
This one might surprise you. Fluorine is playing a much bigger role than you might expect.
Fluorine, isn't that the stuff in toothpaste?
It is, yeah.
What's it doing in these complex drugs?
It might seem counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But fluorine has some unique properties that make it incredibly valuable in drug design.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like what?
So it's the most electronegative element.
Okay. Electronegative.
Meaning it attracts electrons.
Okay.
Very strongly.
So can you refresh my memory on what electronegative means exactly?
Think of it like fluorine is a tiny magnet for electrons.
Okay.
Yeah, and this property directly impacts
Yeah.
how a drug interacts with its target in the body.
Got it.
By adding fluorine to a molecule, you can tweak its shape, its stability, even its ability to be absorbed and distributed.
So it's like a fine-tuning tool.
It is. It is.
Fine-tuning tool.
A fine-tuning tool.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're seeing it used to great effect.
Okay.
A good example is perfluorohexyloctane.
Perfluorohexyloctane.
Which is marketed as Meebo.
Meebo.
And this was approved for dry eye disease.
Dry eye disease.
Yeah, so it's essentially a simple alkane, which is a chain of carbon atoms that's been made druggable by adding fluorine to it.
So you can take something as simple as an alkane.
Yeah, it's not always that straightforward.
Right.
But in this case, the fluorine helps the molecule spread evenly over the surface of the eye.
Got it.
And stay there longer.
Okay.
Providing that relief.
So it's like
from the dryness.
It's helping it to stick around.
Yes, stick around, spread out.
Yeah.
Do its job.
That's really remarkable.
Yeah, fluorine.
The
unsung hero.
Of drug development.
Yeah. Are there any other notable trends?
One more worth mentioning is the prevalence of polyheterocyclic structures.
Polyheterocyclic.
Especially those containing nitrogen.
In a
significant number of the approved drugs.
Okay, polyheterocyclic.
Yeah.
Break that down.
So essentially...
It means these molecules have multiple rings in their structure.
Got it.
And those rings contain atoms other than carbon.
Right.
Like nitrogen.
Got it.
So this complexity reflects the sophistication of modern drug design.
Right.
You know, researchers are now able to target very specific proteins and pathways within the body.
So it's like these drugs are like custom design keys.
Exactly.
Made to fit perfectly into these specific locks.
Specific locks. The body. That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
A good example.
Oh, yeah.
Is quizartinib.
Quizartinib.
Marketed as Vanflyta.
Vanflyta, okay.
This was approved for a type of leukemia.
Leukemia.
And it's a complex polyheterocyclic molecule that targets a very specific protein involved in cancer growth.
Got it.
Essentially blocking its function.
So it's like preventing
that cancer from growing.
The cancer from growing?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
these drugs are becoming like precision tools.
Precision tools.
No.
Designed with incredible detail.
Yeah.
It really makes you appreciate the expertise and the understanding that goes into drug development.
Totally.
These days,
It's mind-blowing.
It is a remarkable field.
Yeah.
Constantly pushing the boundaries.
Okay, I think we've covered
a lot of ground.
A lot of ground.
Yes.
Here, we looked at different types of novel drugs.
Yes.
From biologics to tides, the rise of combination therapies.
Yeah.
The enduring power.
The enduring power.
Of nature-inspired medicines.
Yes.
And even the surprising role of fluorine.
The mighty fluorine.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, who knew?
Who knew? And woven through all these examples, we see this common thread.
Yeah, what's
the relentless pursuit of more effective, more targeted, more innovative therapies.
It's like always pushing the envelope.
Always pushing.
Further.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what else?
What else can we explore?
In
this fascinating world of new drug approvals?
Well,
makes you wonder what breakthroughs are right around the corner.
Right.
You know.
What diseases might we conquer next?
Exactly.
What new challenges will we face?
Right.
That's what's so captivating about this field. It's a continuous journey.
Totally.
Of discovery and adaptation.
Well, I think we've given our listener a lot to consider today.
I think so, yeah.
We've really delved into this exciting world of new drug approvals.
Deep dive.
You know, from these intricate molecules to these complex questions surrounding access and impact.
And how it all works.
Yeah. We've seen how researchers are pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Yeah.
And we've talked about the challenges that come with trying to ensure that everyone benefits.
Right.
From these advancements.
Yeah, everyone benefits.
To wrap things up,
maybe
we could leave our listener with a call to action.
A call to action.
Oh, what would it be?
I would say stay curious.
Okay.
Stay informed. And stay engaged in the conversation.
I like that.
About the future of medicine.
Stay engaged.
Yeah.
Because the choices we make today
absolutely
will definitely shape.
They will shape
the healthcare of tomorrow.
The healthcare of tomorrow.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yes, thank you.
It's been an incredible journey.
It has been.
Through the world of new drugs.
It's been a pleasure.
Really has.
Exploring this with you.
Same here.